The treatment carried a man's name, but the chemistry was hers. Alice Ball was 23 when she solved a problem that had defeated doctors for years. She died before she could publish what she had done. And for a time, history gave the breakthrough to somebody else. In Hawaii in 1915, a diagnosis of Hansen's disease, then commonly called leprosy, could take more than a person's health. It could take their home. For decades, people suspected of having the disease had been separated from their families and sent to the remote Kalaupapa Peninsula on Molokai. Ocean closed one side, cliffs rose behind the other. For many, the journey there was understood as a journey without return. Doctors did have one substance that seemed to help: a thick oil pressed from the seeds of the chaulmoogra tree. The medicine was ancient. Making it usable was the problem. Swallowed, the oil could cause severe nausea. Rubbed onto the skin, it could irritate. Injected in its raw form, it was painful and unreliable. The useful chemistry appeared to be trapped inside an oil the human body could not easily accept. Then a young chemist arrived at the College of Hawaii. Alice Augusta Ball had grown up in Seattle in a family of photographers, editors, and advocates. Her grandfather, James Presley Ball, was a celebrated black photographer. In the darkroom, an image appeared only when light met chemistry in exactly the right way. Alice learned to make hidden things visible. At the University of Washington, she earned degrees in pharmaceutical chemistry and pharmacy. While still a student, she co-authored research published by the American Chemical Society. Then she crossed the Pacific to study the chemistry of awa, or kava, at the College of Hawaii. In 1915, she completed a master's degree in chemistry. She became the first black woman in the United States known to earn that degree, and the first black person and first woman to teach chemistry at the college. Her work with plant compounds caught the attention of Dr. Harry T. Hollmann, a physician searching for a better treatment for Hansen's disease. He brought Ball the chaulmoogra problem. The oil contained fatty acids that could act against the disease, but oil would not mix with the water-based fluids of the body. The medicine and the patient seemed chemically incompatible. Ball began taking the oil apart. She separated its fatty acids, purified them, and converted them into compounds called ethyl esters. In simple terms, she changed the form of the useful molecules without throwing their usefulness away. What had been a stubborn, greasy oil could now become a preparation suitable for injection. The breakthrough did not come from one lucky mixture. Ball had to control heat, distillation, washing, crystallization, and filtration with the limited equipment of a laboratory in 1915. She was not assisting at the edge of the work. She solved its central problem. The treatment was not a modern cure. It did not reliably kill the bacterium that causes Hansen's disease, and it worked best when treatment began early. But it could suppress the disease and reduce its lesions. For its time, it was the most viable treatment doctors had. That distinction changed lives. People who had been facing permanent isolation could improve enough to leave hospital. Some were allowed to return to their families. Ball continued teaching while she refined the process. She worked after hours and, according to later accounts, without extra pay. Then, in 1916, she became seriously ill. Exactly what happened remains uncertain. Tuberculosis appeared on her death certificate. Other accounts later connected her illness to a laboratory accident. The surviving evidence does not settle the question. Her mother took her home to Seattle. Alice Ball died on New Year's Eve, 1916. She was 24. She had not yet published her method. Arthur Dean, the head of the college's chemistry department and later its president, continued the work. He published papers on the injectable chaulmoogra preparation, but did not properly credit Ball for the method she had created. The treatment began to be called the Dean method. A young black woman's discovery now traveled under a senior white man's name. Ball was not there to challenge it, but one witness remembered. In 1922, Harry Hollmann published his own account. His wording was direct. After a great amount of experimental work, Miss Ball solved the problem. He called it the Ball method. Hollmann reported that 84 people he treated had become bacteriologically negative and free of lesions. The language reflected the medical tests of his time, and the treatment had limits, but the result was real enough to alter what a diagnosis could mean. The method spread beyond Hawaii and remained an important treatment until sulfone antibiotics replaced it in the 1940s. Then Ball's name faded again. For much of the 20th century, the scientist at the center of the breakthrough survived in scattered papers, a line in an old book, and the memory of researchers willing to keep looking. Decades later, historians reconstructed the record. At the University of Hawaii, a plaque now stands beneath a chaulmoogra tree. The state has declared Alice Ball Day. A scholarship and a university medal bear her name. In 2026, the American Chemical Society designated the Ball method a National Historic Chemical Landmark. The correction came more than a century after the discovery. In her high school yearbook, Alice Ball had written, "I work, and still it seems that I have done nothing." She had done something no one else in that laboratory had managed to do. She had turned an unusable oil into medicine. She had helped turn exile into the possibility of home. And when history placed another name over hers, the evidence waited. Alice Ball made the hidden chemistry visible. Eventually, the truth did the same for her.